Hey guys, my name is Justin Moore and I'm a sports performance coach here at Parabolic Performance and Rehab in Hackensack, New Jersey. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about my approach to recovery and the things that I do on a daily and a weekly basis to optimize my recovery so that I can accumulate the greatest amount of quality volume that I possibly can over a long period of time. And that's one of the things that is most important in the training process is being consistent and accumulating a great amount of work over a very long period. That's really what's going to drive the adaptations that are going to help you reach your goals. And the problem that many people run into is inconsistency. They're either constantly getting injured, or they're constantly breaking down, or they're constantly having less than optimal training sessions because they're so beaten down that they can't recover fast enough to accumulate high levels and high volumes of really quality work. So what I think we need to do is appreciate that recovery is going to take place in many different buckets, and each one of them is important. No one is more important than the other. We can't just do one thing or have one magic bullet that's going to maximize recovery. Many of the people from Dark Side I know are already going to be speaking about things like optimizing sleep, optimizing nutrition, circadian rhythms, and all of those things, which are incredibly important. So for today, I really want to focus my talk on aerobic fitness. And aerobic fitness is something that I just never appreciated the importance of when I was a collegiate football player. Coming from the collegiate ranks, all we talked about was, if you train slow, you are slow. And I was told that, high intensity intervals and lifting is all you ever needed. And I was really missing the boat on that. Aerobic fitness is incredibly important from an acute and chronic recovery perspective. So from an acute perspective, if we're trying to maximize recovery from session to session, or even set to set, or rep to rep, we need to have a big aerobic engine that can efficiently power our organism. Additionally, what we found is that high-level athletes, or athletes that have a really high training age, often really struggle the next day if they're given a day completely off. So what we've encouraged our athletes to do is, even on their off days, engage in some sort of aerobic fitness activity, engage in some sort of activity, and we've even begun to program quite a bit of aerobic activity on the active recovery days of our athletes. This is going to help to give them a stimulus where their heart is pumping, they're getting blood and fluid circulating throughout their body, they're stimulating their nervous system and the muscles that have been worked previously in order to help them recover for the next hard training session. The other end of this, which is one of the more important ones, is the chronic training recovery perspective. So having a big aerobic engine is really important because it's going to help not only our muscles utilize oxygen better, but it's going to help our heart be more efficient. And when our heart is more efficient, our resting heart rate is going to drop. And the lower your resting heart rate to an extent, and the higher your aerobic fitness level, the greater parasympathetic shift you're going to be capable of. If your resting heart rate is up in the high 60s or 70s, then you are going to be a sympathetically driven individual. You're a person who, even at rest, your heart is working so hard to power your organism that you are really not ever getting good rest. You're not recovering well. The lower you're able to get that resting heart rate, the better you're going to recover, the more you're going to be able to stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system, which is going to be ideal for helping us recover. On the other hand, if I have a greater base of aerobic fitness, I'm going to be able to accumulate more volume over the long haul because I'm going to be able to resist fatigue more. I'm going to be able to perform more work without breaking down because my body is efficient at utilizing oxygen and efficient at powering my organism without going anaerobic too quickly. So it's really important that from both an acute and a chronic perspective, we appreciate that aerobic fitness can really help us recover as athletes and as lifters. So just to give an example of exactly what I do, I really like HICT and HRI from Joel Jamieson. HICT is high intensity continuous training. HRI is high resistance intervals. Now there's a number of other methods you can use. You can do anything from a slow walk, which might be cardiac output, through different circuits of activities, all the way through something like Pat Davidson's 30-30 protocol while monitoring your heart rate. And those things, as long as they are aerobic and you are using an aerobic strategy to power your organism, they can be really effective means to recover from workout to workout and also to help you build your fitness so that over time you can continue to accumulate more and more volume because your body and your nervous system can handle it without breaking down. So to give a specific example of exactly what I did today, yesterday I crushed myself with Pat Davidson's mass challenge. So today I was in need of some active recovery. So the first thing I did was I came in and I performed aerobic plyometrics paired with med ball throws for 2 sets of 8 minutes. So what I did was 10 continuous hurdle jumps at low level, focused on just quick ground contacts. I would do 10 reps. I would rest for 20 to 30 seconds, and then I would perform 10 rotational med ball slams. Rest 20, 30 seconds, perform 10 continuous jumps, rest 20, 30 seconds, perform 10 rotational med ball throws. And I would bounce back and forth between those two with that work to rest ratio for 2 sets of 8 minutes. The entire time I was monitoring my heart rate, making sure that I was staying no higher than the low 160s. After those 2 sets, I rested for about 3 minutes, and then I did 30 rounds of HRI, which are high resistance intervals. And I had a heavy sled loaded to the point where I could push it quickly, but I couldn't sprint with it. I did 10 seconds of work, followed by 50 seconds of rest, and again, keeping my heart rate no higher than the low 160s. When I'm done, I feel great. I'm tired, I'm sweating, I'm hot, but at the same time, all I want to do is go sleep and eat. I feel a lot better, and the next day, I'm ready to go crush another high-intensity training session. Thanks for checking it out today, guys.